Sorry. The January 6th hearings. Of course, we had those other hearings before, but that was kind of a larger thing. Why did they wait this long? Fuck if I know. Other than to manipulate the the midterms, I guess. That's probably the most obvious thing. It's my midterms. But anyway, this is the official January 6th hearings, day one. They're gonna do this next week. It's like they couldn't even do it. They had to start on a Thursday, and it's like it's just so lazy. And I mean, people are gonna eventually forget. Because I am an edgy boy. Most of the footage that I saw, I laughed at. I'll be honest with you. Most of that January 6th footage, I laughed at. I'm just like, it was so funny because yeah, they pushed people over and all this other nonsense. But it's like when they got in there, it was like they were meeting the Pope or something like that. It just looked like another day at the Vatican, all these masses of people getting in there. And what did they do? They just vibe, bro. They just vibe. You had people with zip ties, and you had mo bombs, and that's probably Fed post shit. But it's like they had the they had the noose with the ready to hang pants and all this, but it's like nothing happened. Nothing happened. Um, and of course, we heard from more of the cops and all that, which goes to show the ACAB stuff right out the window, you know. And it was just so pitiful. To me, it was just boring. Honestly, I mean, I laughed a lot of the way through it. It's just like, okay, what do we do now? Hmm. I honestly just feel like, okay, what are you gonna do about it? We saw the guy who said, "I'll be very careful. I'm just gonna say this one time." Boo, fucking America. There we go. You didn't really catch that, did you? But anyway, that guy, he was there in the back. They interviewed this one guy. It really, and of course they focused on the Oath Keepers and on the Proud Boys. Of course, it's coordinated with the fact that Enrique Tarrio is going away, and a lot of members of Proud Boys are going away. Oath Keepers were mentioned, but they weren't. It wasn't pushed as hard, I think, as Proud Boys were. They were talking about two stacks going into the Capitol and all this sort of stuff. Um, I'm still waiting for the footage of where they said the N word to that black Capitol police officer. I'm waiting for that footage. I've never seen that. Never saw that footage of them saying that. It's like this N word doesn't want to let us in. This and that. I mean, just oh boy, you know. I don't see that. Never seen it. But beyond that, it's just such ridiculousness. I know I say ridiculous a lot because it is. January 6th to me, I'm still gonna say it. I'm still gonna say it because I think I honestly feel that way. It was something that was exciting. Feelings you went to about the MAGA peds and all that sort of stuff, and feel that they couldn't even accomplish anything. If this was, I mean, if this was Haiti, if this was any other country, bodies would be stacking up. They would be. Bodies would be stacking up. But of course, as it goes with the United States, did all that talking and shit like that. And by the time they got in, it's just like, let's prop our feet on the table. Like you're in high school and you've came into the teachers lounge and you decided to just chill. That's really what it is. It's that sort of vibe. Like, wow, you did all that to break in, got the key or whatever it is, and you just went in there to smoke or something like that, or whatever. Maybe you banged your girlfriend on the table. Who knows, right? And you're just kind of like, oh, that's all you did? But, people just see the Capitol as sacred, this, that. I mean, to me at this point, who cares? I mean, I'm just going to be honest with you. Who cares? It was fun on the day. And when I still see the footage, I just laugh. And I'm glad that at least it shows that Americans have a little bit of cojones. But it goes to show, it shows the rot and the lack of initiative that Americans have. It's just like we break in and what do? We just sit in the chairs and just LARP and just take stuff. I mean, it was funny on the day, don't get me wrong, but now you look back on it, you're like, that's it. You go ahead and say, oh, what about the injured folks, this and that? And it's like, it's interesting. They showed the footage of this gal. She was a Capitol police officer. She was there with 5 people for these the bike racks there, holding folks back. And it shows her getting knocked over and being held under this bike rack. But there's no footage of them. It's like they start to ask her questions and stuff like that. Apparently, this footage isn't there. Like I say, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, if this was the Maidan, people would have been killed. There were snipers, shit like that. Whereas in this country, we can't even get that right because we're just too damn lazy. Anyway, I think I've said my piece on it. This is going to go on for a few weeks. They're going to continue to use different footage. But of course, you have to get the testimony of the Capitol Police because apparently, I thought that I would assume that they have body cameras too. You would think that they have body cameras with microphones. Same as any other police officer, you would think. Maybe it wasn't required. Who knows? But to me, it makes me scratch my head like, why is it that they have to give testimony? Why can't we find this footage of, these magapeds calling that Capitol Police officer, Capitol Police officer an N-word? Why don't we have this footage of, all these wild things that were happening other than what we saw already? It makes me question it. But that's all I really have to say about it. I'm still going to say it was a funny day. It was funny, and it just made me laugh. I'm going to be honest with you. It made me laugh. It still makes me laugh. And I don't even have to force it. It's funny to see how much of a farce this whole thing is and how much of a charade it is. But we all play along because we don't want to end up in jail. And, doing some bullshit, being locked down 24 hours a day, in prison, some maximum security prison, But anyway, I think that's all I got to say. Yeah, that's it. See you later. Goodbye.